For essay class with lesson 17, you want to turn to worksheet 1, and this is going over commas. So different rules as far as commas go. And you want to insert commas according to the following rules. Before a conjunction, in between two independent clauses, these are your conjunctions: and, or, but, for, so, nor, or yet. People should not jump to conclusions, comma, and they need to make sure others do not get hurt. This is a great way to split up what are basically two complete sentences. People should not jump to conclusions. That is a complete sentence. You need to make sure others do not get hurt. That is a complete sentence. And it is a crisp enough divide to have a comma combined with a conjunction like so. You only do that, though, if you have a complete sentence on either side of these. So you want to go ahead and write that on your worksheet. And if I go through this too quickly, just pause it and then continue on. Here's one, same thing, done incorrectly. Incorrect, a comma splice. This is joining two independent clauses by only a comma. People should not jump to conclusions, comma. They need to make sure others do not get hurt. I consider this the equivalent of a karate chop that doesn't quite make its way through the board or the brick or whatever you're trying to break up. It's just painful all the way around. So don't split two sentences using only a comma. Very painful to read. A comma splice, which is this is just a particular type of run-on. It's a run-on that's created by just dividing it with a comma. May also be corrected by using a semicolon, writing as two separate sentences, so just putting a period in place of that comma, or adding a conjunction after the comma, such as the conjunction and. You also want to use commas with a geographical location, such as in between a city and state or country. Susan was born in San Anselmo, California, or San Anselmo, California, as the youngest of 4 children. Before and after the year when in a date, unless it's the month and year only. She was married June 14th, 1988, to her childhood sweetheart. Between items in a series when there are 3 or more. They needed to pack sleeping bags, this should say a tent, food, and personal items for the camping trip. This one right here before the and is optional. This is considered the Oxford comma. Very controversial within English geeks. But it's typically best for you to go ahead and use it. Most English people just ask that if you use it or not, just be consistent through all of your writing. So if you're going to use it all the way through. Don't switch back and forth. After introductory words, phrases, and clauses when the part following is independent. Finally, Stephen was ready to go on the camping trip. After the party, she was ready to go home and sleep. This particular one I actually have a little bit of an issue with because the part here is just 3 words. Comma placement in this case is very much up to the author. I would probably not put a comma here. If it's over 3 words, then I would normally put a comma if you're beginning a sentence with a prepositional phrase, such as what is here. But that's kind of your judgment call. Since she was tired, she went to bed early. So that would be starting with a clause. Before and after words, phrases, and clauses when the sentence makes sense without the word, phrase, or clause. In other words, the clause, phrase, or word is not necessary for the meaning of the sentence, but is added information. His flight was canceled, understandably, due to thunderstorms. The aroma of the freshly baked cookies triggered pleasant memories. The skunk odor, even though the skunk was cute, was hard to remove. So you want to make sure all of these are copied down onto your page. Failure to add commas will lead to confusion. Read with a slight pause and read without a slight pause to hear which better communicates what you wish to say. Use what communicates best and follow the rules. That's generally the best idea with commas. Okay, now we're going to go through and practice. Normally, you would be doing this on your own, but I'm going to be doing it with you. It would be best if you did pause this right now, go through it, think through it on your own, and then hit play and watch what I do to make sure you got it right. Because if you have to think through this yourself, this practice will stick with you much better and you will learn so much more. So I would encourage you to pause, but that is up to you. Okay, so number 1, she wanted to return to her hometown of Brenham, Texas. This one just needs a comma right here. Number 2, Dallas, comma, Texas is about 4 hours from Oklahoma City, comma, Oklahoma. In his travels, he visited Asheville, comma, North Carolina, and New York City, comma, New York. It is up to you if you want to put a comma after this prepositional phrase. I wouldn't, but you're allowed to. Okay, she was born April 1st, comma, 1906, comma, over 100 years ago. They moved to Dallas, comma, Texas in the spring of the year on March 25th, comma, 1989. They need to feed the animals, comma, wash the car, comma, and mow the grass before leaving. Her dress, comma, hat, comma, shoes, comma, and purse were all magenta to match. They pruned the plants, comma, and they mowed the grass on Saturday. Number 9. He drove his car quickly to the garage mechanic, comma, but the mechanic had gone home. So again, this is a comma combined with but, and either side of this is considered a complete sentence on its own. Hopefully the college she has applied to will accept her application. You could do a comma right here. Most people do prefer that. Number 11. During the storm, the tree was knocked down and landed across the road. So this one, you're going to want to go ahead and put this right here. Optional, but you can do that. Number 12. When she was singing, comma, everyone in the place was quiet. Number 13. Because she was ready, comma, she was able to go shopping for new shoes. The plant, comma, which was small, comma, needed some water. She knew she had a flat tire, comma, unfortunately, comma, when she heard the noise. The never-ending rain, comma, in spite of what the weatherman said, comma, was drenching the plants. Okay, now pull these past 2 pages out and put them under lesson notes, and then turn to worksheet 3. On worksheet 3, you'll see we are going over metaphors. A metaphor is a particular phrase or sentence which suggests a similarity between 2 things which are not alike, but share one similarity, and the comparison is only suggested. So there's nothing as like, as, than, similar to, or resembles. Now we have some Bible verses here that show metaphors in Scripture. So the verse itself is a little bit longer, but I'm just going to have you write down the key parts because we don't have enough space. Jeremiah 5:13 through 14 says, "The prophets are but wind. I will make my words in your mouth a fire, and these people the wood it consumes." So if you think about it, a metaphor is like a simile, but it is stated as a fact, basically. So rather than saying the prophets are like wind, words in your mouth will be like a fire. The people will be like the wood it consumes. It's just stated as a fact. So write down this part. Prophets are but wind. Words in your mouth a fire. And then people, the wood it consumes. Jeremiah 23:19. See, the storm of the Lord will burst out in wrath, a whirlwind swirling down on the heads of the wicked. So you just want to write down storm of the Lord, a wrath, a whirlwind, swirling. I'm going to go ahead and add some ellipses here. Matthew 26:39, Father, if it is possible, may this cup be taken from me. That was not a literal cup necessarily that had to do with the cup of God's wrath that was going to be poured out onto him. Revelation 14:9, this is an interesting one. If anyone worships the beast in his image and receives his mark on the forehead or on the hand. This, some people believe in taking this literally, which you can. Others, it's thought that whenever it talks about on the forehead or on the hand, this is about what you think and what you do. So it's kind of what you focus on and your actions show who you follow. And then Psalm 23:1, which everyone should know, the Lord is my shepherd. So the Lord is my shepherd. So we're not all sheep out there bleeding, but is an excellent representation of how our Lord cares for us. Now we want to go through and want to identify the things that are being compared here. So let's go through. You can just underline it. You don't have to highlight it. The mountains of clouds are coming closer. Mountains and clouds are being compared here. She felt the carpet of grass on her feet. Carpet and grass. He gazed at the evening sparkle in the sky. This one throws a lot of people off, but the things being compared here, sparkle is being used in place of the word stars. The baby had skin of silk. So skin and silk. The inferno burned him when he was at the beach today. Inferno is being used in place of the word sun. His sister is a rare jewel. So sister and jewel. And normally, if you were in class, we would go through together, and we would complete the next, or I would show you the next part, and then you would practice it, but we're at least going to talk it through. You do need your highlighters out. This is your poetry. This is known as sight poetry. It is not difficult, but you will probably get it wrong if you do not follow these directions. I've seen a lot of students do this. So, stars is the topic. If you're going to start out on highlighting, highlight the full blue column first. It is the second word that you want to come up with this column first. So this is the first one that you're going to think of, because these are the direct metaphors for the title, which is stars. So diamonds, jewelry, gems, sparkle, neon, trinkets, adornments, crown, openings, ornaments. So you're going to come up with that first. You'll notice down here, number 1, write a metaphor first, a word, noun with something in common with the subject or topic. So none of those are repeated, so you will come up with the whole column first. That is going to be 10 nouns that you have to come up with. And just to clarify right here, openings, the way it's used here, it is a noun. Participles can sometimes either be nouns, adjectives, or verbs. They're quite the chameleon. Okay? So once you have that, then you'll come back and you'll highlight the whole green column, because that's what you will come up with second. So sky, diamonds, night, jewelry, brilliant gems, evening sparkle, incandescent neon, priceless trinkets, radiant adornments, nature's crown, celestial openings, heavenly adornments. Now right here, nature's crown, nature's is not actually an adjective, it is a possessive noun. But in this case, if you want to put one like that in there, that's okay. Just remember to come up with a whole column. Don't do this line by line. So write an adjective second before each metaphor. And then you're going to come up with all of your participles, which are third in the column. So you'll come up with all participles going all the way down, and then you'll come up with all of your adverbs. And you do have an adverb list that you may use. And make sure that you don't do something like bright sparkle romancing brightly, or bright gems glowing brightly. don't do that. Have a lot of variety in your word choices. So write a participle third after each metaphor and write an ly adverb fourth after each participle. You must write 10 phrases. Describe what the topic could be compared to without using the topic word in the poem and without repeating any other words. So we're going to go ahead and practice this real quick. And I would encourage you to kind of write this down with me as I do that. If you didn't realize, you can double click this, put your last name in, teacher's name, you want to have Miss Rachel Seltzer. Essay writing, day, month, year should look like this, so 31. Okay, topic is rainbow. We're not allowed to mention rainbow in it, but we're going to start off with, we want to go with things that have something in common with rainbows, so things that have a lot of color in them, and we have to come up with 10 of them. So really try and think outside of the box. So things that have a lot of color. So we could have flowers, murals, paintings, circus, Skittles, Starburst. No? Well, actually, you can. I'm just going to do this. Sunset. Highlighters. Crayons. Let's see, I have. This will help me a little bit just to track. Okay, I just need one more. Okay. Something else with a lot of color. Let's go with, let's spell it, fruit. Alright. So I don't want those numbers still there. I'll take those back off. Alright. Now I need my adjectives in front of it. So I'm going to say radiant flowers, stunning murals, ravishing paintings, posh circus, flamboyant Skittles, outrageous Starburst. What is the word that I'm thinking of? I'll go with this one. Gorgeous sunset. There we go. Ostentatious highlighters. Magnificent crayons. Let me do just colorful fruit. Okay, so now we have all of our adjectives in front of it, and we're going to move on to participles. So, okay, and participles can also count as adjectives in front of here. I don't think okay, there I have was stunning, ravishing, but I can't repeat any of those over here, so I have to come up with completely unique participles for this side. So, radiant flowers, bowing, stunning murals, standing, ravishing paintings, arching, posh circus, dancing, flamboyant Skittles, racing, outrageous Starburst, what would I want to say? Drifting, gorgeous sunset. I don't really want to do it because we already have set with sunset. Gorgeous sunset. Let's do sinking. Ostentatious highlighters. Scraping. Magnificent crayons. Wiping. Colorful fruit. bolting. Okay, now we need our adverbs. Radiant flowers bowing abundantly. Stunning murals standing. We already have magnificent, so I don't want to do magnificently. Stunning murals standing. Stoically. Ravishing paintings arching dramatically. Posh circus dancing playfully. Flamboyant skittles racing drastically. Outrageous starburst drifting lazily. Gorgeous sunset sinking tiredly. Ostentatious highlighters scraping gloriously. Magnificent crayons wiping joyfully. Colorful fruit bolting suddenly. Okay, so that's your poetry. I capitalize these because they are technically proper nouns, but if you want to, you can just capitalize the first part of every word in here, and that will work just fine. This is just the example. You have other options for your homework that you need to pay attention to. So do not copy this and hand it in as your homework assignment. So if you have any questions, call, text, or email me, and I will answer you as soon as I can.